everybody. So welcome to Southeastern Aesthetics Institute. I'm Courtney Sykes, and we're hosting our Skin Boss panel, and this is going to be on YouTube, so make sure that you tune in and listen to all the fun questions we have to ask these amazing professionals. So I chose a couple of our employees that actually see clients outside of here, as well as some graduates of ours. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you. So make sure y'all look in this camera. I'm going to look in this camera. We'll start with you, Zoe, and you can pass the microphone down.
I'm Zoe McDowell with Girl Find Your Glow.
I'm Alicia with Alchemy Aesthetics.
I'm Latisa, and I am currently the senior aesthetics teacher for Southeastern Aesthetics, and I am also a master stylist.
I'm Shannon. I am the Director of Education here at Southeastern. I'm also a cosmetologist and cosmetology instructor.
Very good. And we're going to let Miss Ebony join in. Hey, Ebony, come on up, and you can have that seat right there. Pretty mommy. We're just going to throw you right in, Ebony. Is that okay? Tell everybody who you are and what your business is.
I am Ebony, and my business is Velvet's Yoni Lounge.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to make sure the audience, y'all can see the pictures with all the questions. Now over here, y'all have been prepped with my questions, but I might just throw y'all off just a little bit. Is that okay? Yes. So we'll start with Ebony, since you've got the mic down there, or you do now. Okay. So I love doing Skin Boss panels. If y'all have seen these before, you know that it's really cool, in my opinion, for future business owners to kind of get to know what the insider viewpoint is in regards to, what you guys do every single day and how you are successful. So our first question, Miss Ebony, is what is your current role? And how did you get started in the industry? And what is your history in this field? And we'll pass the microphone down, if that's okay for everybody to answer this one. But what's your current role and how did you get started?
Okay, so my current role is owner-operator of Velvet's Yoni Lounge. I got started because I was having my own personal skin issues, and I just wanted more detailed, in-depth answers. And just wanted to do the research of my own to see if I could possibly help someone with the same issues that I was having, because I wasn't really getting results like I wanted. So one day I just started. I was like, well, where can I start? And esthetician school was the start of it. Yeah. And I've been pushing forward ever since.
Okay, and I totally had to put you on the spot. What was your favorite thing to learn in aesthetic school? Tell me now.
Oh, goodness. Oh, favorite thing? I don't know. I enjoyed everything. Maybe waxing to do on others, not to get done.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, audience members out here who are our current students, raise your hand if you've gotten a Brazilian in class. Thank you very much for your bravery. Give each other a round of applause for that one, because that is important to do, but that's okay, Ebony. Okay, Shannon, you're next. So what is your current role? How did you get started in the industry? And share with some of our students that know you kind of what you've done outside of this particular thing you do with us now.
Okay. So my current role here is I am the Director of Education. I oversee all of our programs and educators, as well as have our student liaison between your instructors and Courtney. So that's fun, because now I get to spend time in all the classes with everyone versus one dedicated class. So that's really, really a growth point for me, where I could grow into a bigger position. Outside of here, I still see clients. I still do hair. And I really love it, because it's not just hair for me, because I am not just a cosmetologist. I'm also an esthetician, and I've gone through the advanced course. So there's a real beauty passion somewhere in my core. And I have this philosophy that beauty should match your insides. So I want to bring it to your outside. Everything that's in you, I want to bring so that people, when they see you, can see how beautiful you are inside. And it's not that cookie cutter mold that I'm looking for in people, because a lot of people have these perceived flaws within themselves, you know, those things that only you can see when you're looking in the mirror. And for me, it's important that I help people love what they don't like. So by doing that, by doing the hair, helping with the skin, you know, and helping people to embrace themselves when they're not feeling their most beautiful, that's vital, I think, for our clients.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Thank you, Shannon. I love that answer.
you.
Leticia, what's your current role? But also share with everybody what you do outside of here, because you're one of the biggest hustlers I know in this industry, and I like that. So tell us all about it.
Currently, again, I am the senior instructor for for Southeastern Aesthetics. We are in South Carolina. Um, I'm a master stylist, and what that means is that I can teach you, well, as of November 2024, I'll be able to teach you barbering, cosmetology, nails, and aesthetics. Outside of here, most of the days when I leave here, I'm going to the salon because I still do hair. I love hair. I love everything about hair. I've been doing this for 20 years. What got me started into it ever since I was a little girl, I used to mess up my Barbie dolls and used to get in trouble for messing in the hair. And then finally, I had the opportunity to go to cosmetology school, and I went, and I've loved it. And I love the education. I know it's weird, but I love the education, and that's what made me want to be an instructor. Because when I was in school, I used to think, how could I make this better for my students? How could the education, how could my time spent here at cosmetology school be any better than it was? And my goal as an instructor is to try to make each individual student feel special and make their time at school productive, and also to have fun too, because it's not all books. Y'all get to do some amazing things. Just like today, we're sitting on a Skin Boss panel. We have graduation. We have our Christmas party. So it's just more than just working. Enjoy what you do. I love to teach. I love to give education. I educate my clients daily on their hair. So that's what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me going. And as long as y'all keep enrolling, we're going to be here.
I love that, Leticia. Don't y'all love your teachers? Yes, you do. I see a couple of them right there. Okay, Alicia is next. Alicia, share what your current role is and kind of your background in the industry. Why are you here?
Yeah, sure. So I graduated from Southeastern Aesthetics Institute. I did the aesthetics portion, and then I went into the advanced program. I really like change and, permanent change. I love permanent makeup. So I first started out at a chiropractic office where I did medical aesthetics, a lot of lasers. And then I kind of fell into my own position, started my day spa called Alchemy Aesthetics. We specialize in facials and waxing. I also work at a medical spa. I'm an independent contractor right now for them. So yeah, I do a lot of permanent makeup and I love it.
Now, how much did you enjoy me teaching you permanent makeup now? I'm so excited to hear you're loving doing that. That's awesome.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much.
Good, 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 good. All right, Ms. Zoe, tell everybody about you and your incredible business that you've grown over a very short period of time and how you got started in the industry yourself.
Yeah, so this is actually my second career. I have a master's degree in social work. I did that for 14 years, and I got super burned out in like January of 2020, right before COVID hit, which was like perfect timing to sort of restart because the whole world was shut down. So I stayed home. My son was 2 at the time. We just kind of waited out to see what was going on, and then I've always loved skin. I've always loved makeup. I've always loved helping people, and kind of that social work heart of mine is always like giving back and what can I do to help others and things like that. So I decided to totally switch careers and went to aesthetic school in July of 2020 and finished the program in November. Took the exam, passed everything, and then opened my own business in January. I knew that I just wanted to work for myself. I wanted it to be low key and like low stress and just see where it went, and it just blew up. And I was renting a small room in the back of a hair salon initially, and now 2 years later, almost 3 I guess, I have my own building and 4 girls who work there, and it's just been amazing. And my favorite thing to do is microchanneling. I had really, really, really bad melasma after I had my son, and I just felt so stuck. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what can I do to fix this? So I kind of figured it out. But through chemical peels and microchanneling and really, really good skincare ingredients, we sort of figured out how to really help clients. And that's what my passion is right now, and just constantly helping and fixing and educating and letting people know what their options are and everything like that. So that's definitely been really fun to explore.
That's amazing. So microchanneling, raise your hand in the audience if that's your favorite service, because it's one of my favorite services. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, exactly. All right, so hold your mic, Zoe. The next question for you ladies is, what inspires you and what advice can you give to upcoming beauty practitioners? Because not only the gals in the audience, but those that are going to be watching on our YouTube channel later, you know, what advice would you give them? Because owning a business is hard. Working in the industry and doing what we do is hard. I mean, you're sharing your energy, you're pulling energy from other people. What advice would you give to them?
I think for sure, I mean, owning your own business is so worth it. It's hard, but it's so worth it. And in terms of benefits, you put in, you get out what you put in. So if you're really hard working and determined and have goals and want to work really hard, and you know, you're working constantly. My son's always like, why are you on your phone? And I'm just like, I'm working, like I'm posting, you're making reels, you're doing payroll, you're doing all these things. But this world we live in now is really conducive to that, because everyone's sort of channeled towards that sort of avenue. But I think it's really beneficial. But I think follow your dreams. I definitely think go work for yourself. It's been amazing. You're going to make more money for sure. Having my master's degree, I'm making more now than I did with my master's degree. If that says anything, but it's just really rewarding. And I think you just have to work really, really hard. No one's going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And I've seen people come in and only, you know, do half the work and say it doesn't work, I'm not going to succeed, and quit. But you have to just really know what you want and go get it.
I love that so much. Making more than you would have with your master's degree. That's a good takeaway. That's very interesting to hear. Okay, Alicia, what do you think? How can you share your inspiration with everybody? What inspires you the most?
Yeah. My biggest inspiration is growth. I feel like personal growth, professional growth go hand in hand. Especially for me, I love to see things succeed and I love to see things through. Dedication is a huge thing, especially if you own your own practice or your own office. If you're not dedicated, it's not going to work out. And research. Ask questions that not everyone's going to ask, because it'll pay off.
Absolutely. I agree with that. What you think, Letisa? What inspires you?
People, because that is our industry. So the people you come in contact with can be potentially your clients. You go into the grocery store, you go out in the mall, anywhere could be possibly your clients. I say people because they're gonna pay your bills. So when you as me as a hairstylist, I look at everybody's hair. So if you see me staring, it's probably because I'm looking at your hair. But I say that to say I've always taught my clients to always watch how you walk outside. Never go outside in your pajamas. Never go outside in a bonnet, because you never know what potential customer you could have saw outside of here, and they see you, because first impressions really are everything. So keep in mind that as you go through this business, along with, she said, with personal growth, keep growing. Life is a lesson all day, every day. You're not going to skip trials. Also remember that. And remember, the biggest thing too is that if you're going through something, remember a time that you went through something else and that you came through it. Just know that you're going to get through the next thing too. It's only going to make you stronger. It's not going to break you, because you're still living and breathing. So it's only going to make you stronger. And my other advice would be to people that do not have a clientele. I know y'all leaving out of school. A lot of these people are going to stay here, because you are not going to charge them $5 for a facial when you get out of here. I promise you. But go work for a company. Go work for Massage Envy. Go work for Hand and Stone so you can get your feet wet. They have all the protocols, they have everything you need to help you, but it gives you a better idea of what it's going to be like when you have your own business. Those are stepping stones. We have to crawl before we walk. You can't just jump out there and you're going to get rich tomorrow. It's not going to happen. The beauty industry is not a get rich quick scheme. You have to love it. You have to have passion for it to keep pushing to go.
Oh, I love that so much. Thank you, Letisa. What about you, Shannon?
Outside of my own family for inspiration, it's my constant desire for more knowledge. This is an ever-changing industry, and it never stays the same. You'll see revisits to older styles done in a new way. You'll see so much that's changing. At the same time, things are staying consistent. So for those of you that love change, this is your industry. For those of you that like consistency, this is also your industry. Always be that seeker of more knowledge. So things that inspire me, creativity. This is a very creative industry. Whether you're doing hair, skin, or nails, there is room for creativity. How many of you like different colors of wax or makeup artistry or lash artistry? There's things that are going to remain consistent, but yet new styles, new techniques, new products. So it will always appeal to you and it will always keep you on that cutting edge. If you stop learning, you stop growing in this industry. And that means eventually your clients are going to stagnate and you're going to get bored and potentially leave it. And that's not something that you're dedicating all this time to. You don't want to dedicate this time and then leave the industry. This is a beautiful industry, especially for those of you that are people pleasers. You want your clients to be happy. I always want my client to be happy. How can I do more for them? What can I give them? If you're one of those people that is a gift giver, the best gift you can ever give a client is a piece of yourself. That moment with them, whether it is spending the whole hour talking to them because maybe they're a stay-at-home single mom and all they have are 3-year-olds at home and need adult conversation, or that one person who has had a hard time that you can give them a piece of you, that silence, that steadfastness within it. And then for here, it's y'all, my students, my coworkers, my alumni. You know, all of you have inspired me in some different way to be better and give more of myself to this industry.
Okay, I'm inspired just listening to this. This is good. This is good. I love all of you very much. Okay. All right, Ebony, what about you? Any advice for the future beauty industry girls?
Well, these ladies did such a good job. So I'm going to make it short and sweet. Be confident. Believe. Step one is to always believe in yourself and believe what you're doing, and it'll come across to your clients. And when you work hard, you play hard. And I mean, they said everything that I would have said, and which is the truth. So the only thing I can say is, when you work hard and you put the time and effort and you get the reward, it's nothing wrong with playing hard. It's nothing wrong with it because you deserve it. So sometimes you have to take that break. I just came from South America because I worked all year. So
and you didn't
that was my
invite me.
break.
I see how it is. That's okay.
So it's like, just as hard as you work, play too. After, you get everything in order.
I like that. I'm sure our audience likes to hear that too. That's good. Okay. Hold that microphone. We're going to combine these two questions here. I've got a few more questions after this, and then we have a fun game in which I'm totally going to use the music for, so y'all hang tight on that one. But let's combine these questions, because the next question is, what are some of the challenges you face in a day or a week in your career? So challenges, okay, because they want to hear the real behind the scenes stuff. So sometimes it's tears, sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's whatever it is. But I want to also follow that up with some positive things, but name or list some of your wins, okay, in your career and maybe some career accomplishments. Brag on yourself a little bit. Did you win any awards? You know, anything over the years that you want to share accomplishment wise? So that was quite a bit, but some of your challenges and then some of your wins.
So challenges would be something as simple as you might get there and the electricity is out, something like that. And you're like, okay, I got somebody in 30 minutes. How am I going to make this work? Sometimes you have to reschedule, it's the nature of the game. It's so many challenges that you can have business wise. Being a female, a lot of people are going to tell you no. So that's a big challenge that I've been going through this year. One person to say, yeah, you could do it, then the next 10 people are like, no, you can't do it. I don't know why that first person told you that. So that's challenges as a female in the industry. But I just keep, like, you can't tell me no, that I'm gonna keep looking for that yes. So what was that second one?
And what are some of your wins? Any accomplishments you want to share with us?
So accomplishments and wins would be getting those additional trainings. I do other things. So I'm Velvet's Yoni Lounge because I also offer Yoni steams. So I went and got certified for that. I do wood therapy as well, RF frequency. You learn that here, but I got the certification for it, so you get a little more detailed training to it. So offer that so I can, eventually I want to specialize in the RF frequency.
You know, I love that.
Yeah. So that's really what I'm going to try to specialize in. So those have been wins for me. Getting licensed, opening up, getting clientele. So all of those have been wins for me. And even the things that you would look at as a disadvantage, you learn from it, so it's still a win.
Wow, I like that. Sometimes negatives can just still be positives, is my takeaway from what you just said. I love that. And I will brag on Ebony for a minute because while she was in school, she would come ask me questions and come talk to me about things she had questions about. Many things you already knew, but by seeking out things and not being shy to ask those questions before you jump right in, that's exactly why you're on the stage today. So way to go to you.
And definitely utilize the school for everything. Everybody knows, somebody here knows what you want to know. So just ask, and if you're scared, go to Courtney. All else fails, just go to Courtney, because, we sat down many days. So
Let's still keep sitting together. And if you want to sit together in South America, let me know that too. Thank you very much. Okay.
next year is Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica, let's all go. We're all going with you. That is it. All right, Miss Shannon, some challenges over the years you have faced, in this industry, if you can think of a few, and then some wins. What are some wins?
Okay, so first my challenges. My challenges is slowing myself down. That is a hard challenge because it's balancing your work and personal life. So sometimes you have to remember you got to give yourself that break. You can't work 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and not expect to have some kind of burnout. You'll hear me a lot of times when it comes to business projects, when I'm seeing you guys open 6 days a week, and 7 days a week, that's a wonderful goal. But when your family is scheduling appointments just to have some personal time with you, some one-on-one time, that's when you gotta end. You gotta just know when it's time to just slow down momentarily. That doesn't mean you gotta stop. That just means you have to give yourself, number one, a physical break, and number two, a mental break. Because that mental exhaustion is worse than the physical exhaustion. And you have to realize and be humble with yourself that nothing that's for you is going to pass you by. And I think a lot of the instructors here live off of those statements that nothing that's for you is going to pass you. If it's not for you, let it go by, and that's okay. Don't compare your timeline to somebody else's timeline. That's a hard one. That's a hard one for me. because I can see a lot of people being very, very successful, and I'm like, ooh, I want that, and I want that now. But you have to remember, their timeline's not your timeline. If you're not ready and you're not in a position to open a business, that's okay. You will be eventually when the time is right. But it's hard to sometimes slow yourself down to realize that it's okay to take your time getting to goals. Achievements? Well, 2020, I was the inaugural winner for the Etna C. Griffin Award. That surprised me greatly. Courtney saw something in me that I did not see in myself. So
She won an all expenses paid trip to Disney World is what she won. Yes. Her
And if you
favorite
know-
place.
I did take it. I always take it. I didn't know you yet. But it was one of those things, you know, when you have people that are in your corner and they are developing you, that is always a wonderful thing. I recently won the Mission Award, the Mission Statement Award this past year. So my whole goal is to do things right here for my students, do things right at home for my family, and balance it out. So I'm always going to keep pushing forward. I also got promoted to Director of Education. That was an achievement that was a long time for me to get to. And when I say a long time, it was a short period of time, honestly, for somebody to go from learning the industry to developing into an instructor to that position. But for me, it felt like forever because I've got goals. I don't like to stay stagnant. But I had to be reminded that what is for me will come to me when the time is appropriate and right. And there it is. It landed on me. And I hope I'm doing good for you guys.
I think you are. I think you are for sure. Absolutely.
And just know, I love everybody. So, love you too. But it is a really good experience, and I'm always here to grow. That's the whole thing, is growing. That's my biggest reward, and growth potential should never stop.
Absolutely. I love that. Letisa, challenges. Give us some real nitty-gritty, detailed challenges you faced, if you don't mind, and then some wins. Tell us about that.
I've been doing this for 20 years, right? So I tell you one thing, having to defend your profession. I told this story to my students day before yesterday about how a young man came to sit in my chair and he was like, all you do is cut hair. So I politely explained to him about his occipital bone and his zygomatic bone and about the nerves and the muscles in his head and his face, and told him about electricity and gave him some other anatomy things. And he said, I apologize. And gave me a $50 tip because he said, now I have a new outlet. Look on what it is that you do. So I would say that would be a challenge when somebody comes to you and say, you're just an esthetician. What? Break it down to them. That's not an insult to, it is an insult low key, but once you educate them, people are not educated. So once you educate them on what you know, what you do, they will then respect you. And unfortunately, we have to do this, but we do. As far as challenges, I say challenges. I won't say losses or anything, because any challenge that I've been through, clearly I'm still here. So I went through them and got through them, but they've made me think about what, when, why, and where, how it happened, so I can go through and grow from how it happened or what it happened, whether it had to do with me or not. I still had to learn to grow from it. My wins, I honestly, y'all, when I get that text message, and I just got one yesterday, Miss T, I passed my theory. I'm excited, and that was one of my nail students that graduated November 17th. She passed her nail theory test. I love it. When I get my text messages from my students that they pass their tests, when I hear good news, those are my wins. When just like my students are getting ready for graduation, and I seen a young lady flat iron her hair. I said, "You want me to flat iron your hair?" "Oh yeah, Miss T." I done flat ironed 2 heads and started curling another one. That's wins for me because I can help somebody. What I feel like I've learned in this life is that I'm not here for myself. I'm here for everybody else. So in that, I have to make sure that I'm right and that I continue to grow in the right direction so that I may lead other people into the right direction. So those are my wins for me.
Gosh, I love that. That's so inspiring. Thank you so much. Okay, can y'all top that? Alicia, tell us challenges and wins. What do you think?
It's really inspiring. I opened my business in July, so it hasn't been that much time, but I will tell you, it's been a lot of growth in such a short amount of time. My biggest challenges is as a young professional, is people taking me seriously. Um, you have to stay true to who you are, and you have to be mature. If you're gonna start something young, I see a lot of young faces. Be mature with everything you do, how you approach people, how you handle clients, numbers. I'm not good at math. I really had to grow up and do that. But I feel like my other biggest challenge is my time. There's only 24 hours in a day, right? 12 working hours. I work at a medical spa 3 days a week in the mornings. My spa is open 7 days a week. Sorry, Shannon. Right now, but I'm open from 1 to 7, so it's all at night. My biggest thing for me is I wanted to contribute to the working class. I wanted people that have 9 to 5 jobs be able to come in and enjoy and relax and not have to take off work. Who wants to take off work to relax? My biggest win this year was being able to purchase my house.
Way to go. That's
being-
awesome.
being
Give
able
a
to-
round of applause for that one. I mean, that's a huge deal. Way to go.
Thank you. And my biggest one is my family, my boyfriend, who I spend so much time with. I mean, I couldn't do it without him. We also own a horse business, and it takes two for sure. It takes a lot of people. So I'm so happy. And my other win was being asked to work at the medical spa. I wasn't looking for another position. They came to me and they're like, "Hey, we really like your work. Do you want to come part-time, whatever, just work out some days with us?" And I loved it. I've never looked back. It's been beautiful.
I love that. And that's a really cool takeaway because what y'all have heard so far too is that you can do multiple things. You just don't have to do one thing. You can do multiple things if that's what you're called to do. So thank you for sharing that. Zoe, what about you? You're a busy mama. You own this business. You've got employees. Tell us your challenges and some of your wins.
Yeah, so I'm a single mom to a 6-year-old, and so working for myself, it's a lot of hours. So a lot of times he's there with me in the afternoon, and he just has his iPad or does whatever or helps and just stays quiet, and that's okay. But just finding the time definitely to make everything work and still be a mom and still be present and everything is challenging, but it's definitely doable for sure and very rewarding. I think another thing about working for yourself is that income or clientele is going to fluctuate. So I hope you paid attention when Courtney talked all about financial forecasting and all of that, because it's super important to do that and get on payroll and stay consistent and have a savings, like just build up to it. It doesn't happen, like Shannon said, it doesn't happen overnight, but just being consistent, you can definitely make progress. But it's a challenge because I'll tell you, like, all the months that start with J are extremely slow. So January is coming up. Everyone spent all their money on Christmas, and no one, I promise you, is coming in for a facial unless they have a gift card, which you're basically, you've already been paid for that in the past. You're not getting paid again for it, kind of thing. So you just have to prepare for that. So that's definitely a challenge and something to keep in mind. Even if you work for someone else, it's going to be slow. So just pacing yourself, preparing for that, knowing that it's coming is really important. people are traveling in the summer. And then this year, for some reason, like September was okay, but October was really, really dead. And I think just, everyone getting back into school and getting in the rhythm of things and all that kind of stuff, people just weren't spending extra money. So it just depends. So sometimes there's great months and sometimes there's slow months, and you're like, this is not consistent, and that's just okay. And that you have to expect that. You have to know that and just prepare for that. So I think that's a big challenge for sure, but not impossible and definitely rewarding. And then some wins is just being able to make such amazing progress. My before and afters are really, really good. To be honest with you, I'm very proud of them for microchanneling on my Instagram. They're just so good. We can get such good results, and just learning constantly, knowing what ingredients are going to help lighten, tighten, and brighten the skin. And there's some random ones, like Sanji mushroom extract is like one of my favorite ingredients. It's used in Asian cultures, and their skin is just, not to generalize, but like so glassy. But it really, really helps to lighten the skin, and using that in conjunction with different services and creating custom care plans and all that is such a big win for me, to see your clients be successful and look at you and be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money to spend, and I trust you, is such a huge win for someone to be like, I trust you to fix my face. Like, let's do this together. So that's really, really huge. And just seeing clients results afterwards and being so happy and having their self-esteem increase is a huge win for me. Last year I won Best Esthetician of Lexington County Award. So that was a win too, but just constantly moving forward. And another challenge too is like, there's a lot of people in your class, probably look around you, all these people are graduating and going into the industry, and there's competition, but it's not, I think the biggest takeaway for that is that you guys can build each other up. There's plenty of people for everyone. People specialize in different things. And if someone comes to me and says, I want a volume lash set, I'm like, I'm not your girl. I'm going to send you to a friend of mine. And then if, someone else hears, oh, I want, Brazilian. Well, I don't do Brazilians. I'm going to send them to Zoe. So I think constantly keeping that in mind, making good connections, making friends can be a challenge and a win as well, to constantly build each other up, because everyone has their specialties. And don't be greedy. I think givers gain is the biggest thing. If you give, you will receive. I promise you. There's so much to go around. So that's a challenge and a win in and of itself.
Okay, I could just dive into you all day. That was amazing. Thank you, Zoe. Okay, pretty mamas. Before our fun game, I got a couple more questions. Y'all doing okay? Yes, you are. Okay, so the next question is, give us an instance where you went above and beyond for a client, if you can think of one, okay? And then I'll go ahead and ask you this at the same time. Explain a time where you dealt with a difficult client, okay? So above and beyond moment, and then difficult client moment. Who in here has had a difficult client in the spa? We call them special clients. Special clients? Okay. All right. Zoe, can you answer this one for us?
Sure. I have this one client. She's so sweet. She's older. I don't know. She has to be in her 70s. And she came to get lash extensions, and we just started talking, and she had cancer like twice and was currently going through treatments and all kinds of stuff, and talking about her family and just getting to know her so well. But I don't know if she like knew how much it cost, or like she was just going to give me what she wanted to give me. So she hid some cash and just gave it to me. And I was just like, fine. I was like, that's fine. It wasn't the price that it was. And ever since then, we just became really good friends. And she just kind of hands me whatever she wants to. I think she's on a fixed income. I'm like so happy to provide for her. We've just become really close. If I don't see her for a while, I'll call her and, see where she is and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't charge her at all. But that's been really fun. So kind of getting to know your clients means a lot to them. And of course, she's going to be a repeat client, but she's just the sweetest. I've had a difficult one recently. So I had a greedy special client who I was having a sale on an individual microchanneling package or session. So instead of $300, it was $149 or something. So she decided to buy a package. Well, the package clearly states that it includes your face and your neck. And if you buy 3, you get the 4th one free. So she came in and bought the package, but then she saw somewhere else that I was having this special that it was $149. So why couldn't she have just bought 4 $149 package sessions to equal like much less than it was, and it was like a whole thing. I was trying to do math. She totally turned it around on me and made it seem like I was being greedy and trying to get more money from her and being deceitful, which was like 100% not the case. And we went back and forth. I like literally broke everything down and showed her where it said this and how it was just buy one, and it was only for until this, because it was a slow week. So Courtney's probably told you this, or you have it here, like flash sales and stuff like that. So I was just trying to fill the books for that week. So I put that special for that week. It wasn't like you could buy a million of them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She came in for one. I was like, here, I'll tell you what, for the first one, since you did it in August, it was during that time, I'll give you that for $149. But really, for the rest of them, the package, this is what it costs. Well, it turns out it wasn't good enough for her, and she wanted a refund for everything. So I was like, you know what? Absolutely. Because you are not someone that I want on my service. If you're going to be displeased with everything, you probably wouldn't like the results you got. You probably would have said that I was being deceitful for something else. I don't know. She was real special. But I just had the biggest smile, and I was like, absolutely. How would you like that? Where can I send it, and how and when? So you're just gonna encounter people like that sometimes, and I truthfully don't want her as a client if she's gonna be that intense. So goodbye.
There is something in the industry called BCE, best client ever, you know, and not every client is your client. And I thought that was a great thing to share. So I appreciate you sharing that story with us. What about you, Alicia?
Yeah, so mother-daughter duos, we gotta love them. I had one come in and she said that her teenager was battling really bad with acne. She had really sensitive skin, and we wanted to do a facial. Her mom was very much so, what are you gonna do? Like, how are we gonna do it? Really wanted to be involved. And they also told me they've been to multiple places, like pretty much every spa in my area. And instead of seeing that as a red flag, I took it as a challenge. And I gave this girl a facial. Everything went really well. And she went home that night. I thought everything was okay. And the next morning, her skin was still red. And what I realized was it was the heat that triggered her skin, and she did have pretty thin skin, but she wasn't on Accutane, so it was kind of really bizarre to me. So the mom was upset because her daughter's face was red, and instead of getting panicked or upset, I absolutely apologized first. It's always sorry, take accountability. And I wrote down every single thing I did in her service, every product I used. And after that, I said, I really think it's a good idea that you seek medical advice. I don't think that this is in a professional's
Like in your scope.
yeah, it's not in her scope. It's really not. Her skin was challenging for sure, and her skin ended up being fine. Everything was good, but it was really hard to, deal with something like that. I hate not giving good results, and I think I really went above and beyond of staying really clear of things not to do, things to do with her skin, and we stayed on the sensitive side. So, but things like that happen, and you're gonna have, unfortunately, clients that don't respond the way you think that they're gonna respond to treatment. Especially if you go on the advanced side of things. Everyone just has a little bit different of a response, and especially with like younger clients, their skin's still developing. So I think it's really good to know it's not always going to go the way you think it's going to go.
Yeah, and those are real things that can happen, but things you can overcome. I like that. I like it. What about you, Letisa? Anything you want to share?
Well, again, I worked at Massage Envy, and I was a esthetician at Massage Envy. So, thankfully, knock on some wood, I didn't have any skin client issues, but I got hair clients. Just one particular issue. I was working at Cost Cutters at this time, and it was Saturday, and we were jumping. There was a lot of people in. So a client came in, and I had cut his hair a month ago. He came in, checked him in. He sat in my chair. I draped him, and asking him, did he still want his hair cut like he did last time? And he had a bump in the middle of his forehead, and he said, "You did this to me." And I said, "Excuse me?" He was like, "You did this to me." I said, "How?" And he was like, "Last time you cut my hair, you did this to me." So at that time, the only thing I could think is that when I take my trimmers and cut the hair between the eyebrows. But then I was like, well, sir, nobody else has came in here and said that I've done anything to them. I make sure my clippers are clean after every client. So he wanted to argue with me back and forth. One, we are in a business full of people. I was working at the cost cutters in Lexington on 378. So we're in Walmart and you in here cutting up. So what I did was pop his cape and told him he needed to wait for the next person. I will say that all money is not good money. Do not take flack from somebody just because they're paying you. If they are wrong and you have done everything in your power to rectify the situation, you have apologized, you have gone above and beyond to show them ABC 1, 2, 3, and they're still not getting it, just excuse them for being your client. And you don't have to be rude about it. I popped his cape, took his neck strip off, and I said, sir, you can sit in the lobby and wait on the next stylist. Next person, come on back because at this point you are wasting my time and my money. So that was a little challenge that I had.
What you think, Shannon? And of course, y'all can share good things too. Yes.
Honestly, my biggest challenge is not rude behavior on my client, it's client disclosure. So I had a client that didn't want to disclose that they were going through oncology treatments. They were actively going through chemotherapy. I was struggling with her skin. Her chief complaint was her skin was dry. It was dry. I mean, like, it was dry. So she didn't disclose to me. She was answering, no, I don't have cancer. I don't have any of this. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not on retinol. I'm not on anything and stuff. So I was really struggling with this client for a long time. Summer comes, we get hot. She took her wig off and just plopped it on the floor. I didn't know she had alopecia. She was bald. And she wasn't bald because she had alopecia. She was bald because the chemo, she had lost her hair. Okay. When I said, and mind you, she's been my client for a long time. So don't let your face give you away, ladies, because sometimes our clients will shock us by doing certain things and certain behaviors that are very normal. So I was like, I didn't know you had alopecia. She goes, I don't have alopecia. I'm going through chemo. I have breast cancer. Excuse me, what? So it turned into a moment where I'm uncovering and peeling back this big old onion of a problem. I had been doing chemical peels on her. If your client is going through chemotherapy, you can't do chemical peels. You can't do chemical services. You know, it's a contraindication for them. So of course her skin wasn't responding the way I wanted it to. Of course her skin was dehydrated because her whole body's dehydrated through to the bone. So it's one of those moments when you actually have to show some grace to your client. Okay, I'm going to educate you on what we can do for your skin to make it respond in a positive way now that I know what the underlying factors are. So we changed her whole curriculum, you know, her whole skincare regimen and everything. And her skin started responding. But then she started missing appointments. She would be late. And this is a client that's paying no-show fees and stuff like that prior to me finding out. I didn't know why she was late because chemotherapy, when it dehydrates you, it dehydrates your brain as well, and you have memory issues. This is a client that when driving in would forget why she's on the road, turn around and go home. So once I found out she was going through chemotherapy, I was able to change my way of responding to this client. Calling her 30 minutes prior to the appointment because it only takes her 15 minutes to get there. If I didn't see her at the start of her appointment time, are you coming? Can I reschedule you? I was on the road, but I forgot why I was coming, so I just went home. And where it sounds funny, I mean, it's serious. It's a serious thing. And when you have people that don't want to disclose to you they're often not disclosing to their family, and you become their support network. You're the one, because they don't want a pity party, but you're the one that's going, no, you're going to kick cancer in the butt. No, have you eaten today? You know, are you thirsty? Are you hungry? And you're their support network that can sometimes be the one when they say, I have X, Y, and Z going on, because you're not close enough to them as a client professional relationship to interfere in the way sometimes family does. We all have that close person in the family. You know, how many of you have family that's so close that, you know, they know you're about to do something before you even start doing it? So sometimes we don't disclose to our closest to us, right? So you can become that support network for them. If I don't see her, I'm calling her. I'm checking in. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just been under the weather. You know, it's cold and flu season. Who are you not seeing right now? People that have compromised immune systems. So it's really important for me to go above and beyond for certain individuals in that aspect. But trust me, when you have someone that you develop that professional relationship with, and you get close to them in certain ways, and you start to become friends on certain levels, you will feel very empathetic for them. You'll feel their emotions. You'll feel happy when they're happy. You're sad when they're sad. You hate when they're sick. You don't like when they're in financial straits or in everything like that. And so you have to remember those difficult clients are not always bad clients. There's sometimes difficult situations with a client. But I'll tell you one thing, I love her to death.
And I like that because it's all about relationships. So that's a perfect thing to share. I appreciate that. All right, wrap it up for me, Ebony. Tell me.
So quick story. Had a bridal party. Bridezilla. But the bridal party was okay, but the bride, whew. So it kind of worked both ways. Everybody was happy except the bride. But she wanted, so when you do the bridal party, it's more like a package thing. So the bride gets a little more than what the bridal party will get. So I was giving the services to everybody at the same time, like certain things that could be done. And so excuse me, I was like, well, you get the complimentary facial that comes with it, 30 minutes, 45, you know, depends on what you want. It's your day. And the party can get a 15-minute complimentary facial. And that was kind of pushing it, but it was just, you know, just offering something different. So she was like, well, I want them to get what I get. No, it don't work like that. So it kind of was like a back and forth thing. But I had to pull out what the contract that she agreed to. And so that's the importance of contracts, documentation. So when they try to pull rank on you on certain things, just pull it out. You signed here and it says this here, and they can't really do anything. And if they are upset, the best you can do is try to calm them down. So she was a little upset, but she got that facial. Everybody else was excited to just, you know, be offered certain things. Because for them, it was like, it made them feel special and kind of honored that they were being a part of the wedding party, but they also could get certain things that she was getting, you know. So they were being catered to as well. So it
And I'm
turned
sure
out to
she
be
was
good.
very happy. That's all I
Yeah.
know.
She didn't want to say it, but she was.
Yes.
She was.
Very good. So again, it's about customer service, dealing with the public and making sure you know how to kind of cater to some of those special moments. Okay, so before we get into our game music fellows over there, look at these gentlemen. Say hello. This is Kevin, and then his name, your name again? Bradley. Yes, Bradley, right? I got it. Okay. Music in just a moment. But last question, ladies, and then y'all are going to stand and we're going to play a game. Are y'all good? And then we're going to have some lunch, we're going to have some dancing, and then we'll start our graduation ceremony at 1 o'clock. Are y'all here for that? I like that. Why aren't y'all sitting up front? I guess you can't because of the graduates. That's it. That's why. Okay, last question. What inspires you? And I love that y'all already said this word because y'all know it's my favorite word. You know, life is about change, but at the end of the day, showing people who you are is based on how consistent you are in what you do. When you're consistent every day, everything just works in your favor. So, what inspires you to be consistent as a skin boss or hair boss or whatever kind of boss you want to be, Ebony? Tell us.
What inspires me to be consistent is knowing that I can make a change, knowing that I can make a difference. You never know that one client you get, you might be the only person that took the time to give them that attention and help them and assist them and just make a difference in their life. So that's what keeps me going, just helping each person along the way.
And what a great way to end this year, move into the new year with that mindset. Thank you so much, Ebony. What about you, Ms. Shannon? Consistency.
It's key. You got to be consistent for yourself. Showing up consistently, showing up for your education, and showing up is more than just being in the building. Showing up is being mentally present. So you have to sometimes put down the phones. You have to show up for yourself. So I'm one that's a firm believer in being present in what I do. And it wasn't always that way. My husband and I had big arguments about being that consistent showing up person because I would show up physically, but mentally I was somewhere else. I was on my phone. I was behind a camera. I was mentally still working. So being able to show up even for yourself is important. That's part of being consistent, is just being there for you, being there for your family, being there for your clients. And when I say being there, it's not just your physical presence. You got to bring your brain and everything with it, you know, and your spirit. Drag that along too, because that's the biggest part of you.
That's it. Fantastic. Leticia, consistency. Tell us everything you know.
Accountability for myself. I can hold myself accountability for the actions and the choices I make for the day. I know that every morning, Monday through Friday, I have to get up and come in here and teach my students. So every day, I hold myself accountable for having my things in check in order to make my day run smoothly. And if I have everything in check to make my day run smoothly, then my students' day will run smoothly because the teacher is holding herself accountable to make sure you get what you need. So just holding myself accountable to be the best version. I try to be the best version of myself daily. And if I can bring that out in myself, it'll sprinkle over the rest of the people. And then it'll make them shine and it'll make them happy and bring the best out in themselves.
Yes, ma'am. I love that. That's it. What about you, Alicia?
I feel like you have to be consistent in everything you do for your family, for your work, for anything. Even your hobbies, I feel like you should always do things that make you happy. This profession, I mean, it's a really, really beautiful profession, and it makes so many people happy. Hopefully makes you happy. It makes your clients happy, makes your coworkers happy. I mean, there's so much joy and energy that we can put into our clients, and that's part of our craft. I feel like if we put ourselves, like we've said before, if you put a piece of yourself into your clients and really give your all 110%, it's not just money it'll come. There's so much gratification that comes with it.
I agree. I like that a lot. Zoe, wrap it up for us. Tell me.
All right. I think consistency, have a schedule and I know Courtney has an amazing schedule. She goes to bed at like early and gets up at like 4 7, and you get up at like 4, right?
4:30 every day.
Every day.
Yep.
And reads and does all those things and meditates. And I mean, that is just so inspiring. So I don't have quite that schedule, but I do go to bed by like 8:30 and get up pretty consistently with my son, take him to school and just get in a rhythm. But I think being consistent and having routines that you're not it's so easy to slack off and be like, oh, I don't have a client till 11. Let me just like stay in bed. Stay consistent with yourself and your schedule. I think it'll be really lead to a lot of success.
I like that. Being timely and keeping a schedule every day. I like that. You know I like that. Are y'all ready to stand up for our game? Can I have a little like music over here to start our game? Y'all are going to hold on to it. Y'all are going to hold on to it. Okay. Little Skin Boss questions. So I want to have some music in the background, but I also want to be able for y'all to hear me. Do y'all like games? Yes, you do. Okay. So, I hear the music. Okay, good. Okay, y'all ready? Do you even know what questions I have for you? Some of you do, some of you don't. All right, this is called fast questions, so you got to answer it real fast. All right, Ebony, so I'm going to ask all 5 to one of you, or you at the same time. Ebony, you want to start for me? We'll pass the mic down. All right, here we go. Y'all see the questions. First question is, favorite skincare line or hair care line or lines and why? Hurry.
You mean makeup or just
Skincare, hair care, makeup, anything. What do you think?
glow?
Glow?
Glow.
Okay, why?
I mean, wait a minute. Let's backtrack this. Let's put this on the record. Courtney Sykes.
You don't have to say that. You don't have to say that at all.
I really do love your products, but Glow is my next one.
That's a great line. I completely agree. Do you have a reason real quick?
It just helped clear my skin up real kind of quickly, and I don't know what's in it completely, but it works.
I do. They've got really good active ingredients. They're a good line. Very good. Okay, Ebony, next question. Favorite ingredients, since we've talked about that, you got to name a few.
A few.
Yes.
Oh.
Fun, everybody. Yes. This is like you're back in class with me. Hello.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go back because I'm not done with your questions. That's okay. What are y'all's favorite ingredients in the audience? Glycolic acid. I like squalane. I like stem cells. Anybody else? Thank you. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Stem cells. There you go.
Those every day.
Perfect.
Lipids. I love. I do lipid drops
Which
every
has
day
a
too.
squalane in there.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Those would be.
Okay, Ebony, favorite modality or beauty treatment or treatments? Tell me.
RF frequency.
Radio frequency, very good. I agree.
That's
Any
my
others?
favorite.
That's your favorite?
That's just my favorite.
That's your
That's
favorite.
the one
I
I'm
like it.
specializing in.
Perfect. Must have skincare products. Choose 3. Think of your home care routine. Choose 3 products.
Good cleanser, good mask, moisturizer.
Very good. Any brands that you love?
I do Glow. Right now I just have Courtney Sykes.
Okay. Well,
That's
that's
all I
not a
have.
bad thing. I
And
like
I got
it.
one Glow, but the rest is Courtney. I got your whole line.
All right, Ebony, I like it. You're going to get some more products today just for being here, too. How about that? Okay, favorite quote. What's your favorite quote?
Oh gosh. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
I like that. I like that. Give Ebony a round of applause. She did good. She did good. All right, Shannon, you ready for fast questions? Yes, you are. Favorite skincare line or hair care lines and why?
Skincare, aside from CSMA, I love Farmhouse Fresh. They're a small business, U.S. company. They're out of Texas, and they were developed in order to support their animal rescue. So for those of you that love animals more than people sometimes, that's one for you.
I like it. I like it.
Hair care, K18, as well as my color line, which is Pulp Riot.
Very nice. We will be offering all of those things here at Southeastern in April 2024, just in case y'all want to know. Next question, favorite ingredients?
Stem cells and peptides.
Stem cells and peptides. I like peptides too. Favorite modality or beauty treatment?
Ooh, modality. Laser or microchanneling.
Lasers and microchanneling. I agree. I agree. Must have skincare products. Choose 3.
SPF, SPF, SPF.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I agree. Sunscreen all the way. And then favorite quote?
Fail. To fail is your first attempt in learning.
I like that. That's true. I know that's your quote. Give Shannon a round of applause. Thank you for being on our panel. All right. Gorgeous lady in red. Leticia, you ready? Okay. Favorite skincare line or lines and hair care lines, any that you want to share and why? Tell us.
Definitely Courtney Sky's Cucumber Scrub. This is my all-time favorite, along with the stem cells. Sorry, it's 3. And Urban Skin RX. It just works for my skin. It just works. Hair care, ooh, we can go deep. But color line is, ooh, sorry, we can go even deeper. Pulp Riot gonna top my color line as far as lightener. Pulp Riot. Golly.
I can't wait to get my hair colored as soon as we start cosmetology in April. Thank you very much. Favorite ingredients?
Stem cells, definitely. It helped my eyebrows a lot. If you're thinking about getting your eyebrows micro pig, I will tell you stem cells are your best friend. What else? Whatever in that scrub. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The cucumber in the scrub.
Favorite modality or beauty treatment? Tell us.
I love a good microderm because it just feels like it just helps sucks that stuff up out of your skin. And beauty treatment, well, yeah, microderm. And I like a good facial, it's something about that steam towel on your face that just rounds it all in.
Oh, I love it. Hot towels and microdermabrasion. I like that too. Thank you very much. Must have skincare products. Choose 3.
I have to have my cleanser and my moisturizer and my SPF. My moisturizer and my SPF is mixed together, so it's a 2-in-1 fave for me.
I like it. Leticia, favorite quote? Tell us.
If you know better, you'll do better.
If you know better, you'll do better. I like it. Give Leticia a round of applause. Very good. Alicia, you ready for fast questions? Okay. Favorite skincare line or lines and why?
Courtney Sykes.
You don't have to say
Oh,
that.
I do. Yes, for professional, yes, but for medical, I would say Neocutis.
I like Neocutis too. That's a good line for sure. Because stem cells, right? Yeah. All right. Favorite ingredients?
Glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and hyaluronic acid.
Very good. Glycol and HA. Very nice. Favorite modality or beauty treatment?
For medical, micropigmentation, but for professional, it would be hydrodermabrasion.
Oh, I love hydrodermabrasion. I know y'all like that too. And then let's see, favorite or must-have skincare products. Choose 3.
A good cleanser, a good moisturizer, and a good SPF. I'm with you on that.
Nobody said serums yet. I love serums too, but I like everything you're saying. Favorite quote, Alicia?
Everything happens for a reason.
Ooh, everything happens for a reason. I like that. Ooh, I see some graduates coming in. Yes. Hello, families. All right, give Alicia a round of applause. Very good. Okay, and Zoe, fast questions. You ready to finish it off? Okay, favorite skincare line or lines and why?
My back bar is Courtney Sykes. It's so versatile. The ingredients are clean, and my clients love them.
Anything else?
Well, that's my back bar. I've gone like the holistic, like natural route. So like my skincare at home, well, I'll get that in a second, but it's like I use like castor oil and like black seed oil, rose hip, like lots of different oils.
Okay, very nice. Your skin looks glowing for sure, Zoe. Okay, favorite ingredients, tell us.
So, Pomifera oil is one of my favorites. It's like super good at killing bacteria and is really, really hydrating. I love stem cells and I love niacinamide.
Niacinamide, yes ma'am, I like that one too. Let's see, favorite modality or beauty treatment?
What do you think?
Microchanneling.
Yeah.
I love microchanneling. I've got to check out her Instagram page with all of her before and after pictures. It's amazing. I agree with you. Must have skincare products. Choose 3. Tell us.
Definitely serums. I use serums all the time. Face oil and SPF.
Very nice. Sunscreen and serums. That's it. Favorite quote, Zoe?
Know with whom you're dealing.
Ooh, know with whom you're dealing. I like that. Give Zoe a round of applause. Did y'all like our Skin Boss panel today? Very good. You may check it out on YouTube for all of you pretty mummies over there. That's it. Okay, we can turn up the music for a little while until we start our graduation at 1. That's it, you guys. Y'all did so good. Yay.